What's up YouTube, this is Webbers5 here, coming at you with my Cyberdark deck profile for the upcoming Link format. So let's get to it. I'm running 2 of each Cyberdarks, that's 2 Cyberdark Horn, 2 Cyberdark Edge, and 2 Cyberdark Keel. I feel 2 is the right ratio for this build because I'm using it with the Lightsworns for a mill factor. So I'm finding 3, also 3 can be a brick, 1 I don't hit it enough, so 2 I'm finding is the best ratio for it. Next I've got 1 Malefic Truth Dragon, for the reason that it powers up the Cyberdark Dragon to a maximum of 6,000, of a minimum of 6,000 attack points, which lets me just push for game straight off. And next I run 3 Ride in Hand of the Lightsworn. With the amazing reprints in Battles of Legend, I took advantage of Minerva being reprinted and used that as a mill engine to speed up my Cyberdarks. So I've got 3 Raiden. Just since he's a warrior, I can search him quite easily. Gets a good mill effect to mill 2 once per turn, mill 2 at the end phase, and he's also a tuner monster, so he gives me an option of synchro plays if I feel like it. Also run 3 Lila. She's useful for popping back. I find her useful for popping back row. I know we're not in the most back row heavy format, but I still find her a bit useful compared to other Lightsworns. And then I run 3 Wolf, because Wolf's like one of the really good ones. If I can mill multiple of them at once, that sets me up with a decent board, and I'm going to think that's going to be really useful under Link format to either get myself a rank 4 playoff or materials off for a Link summon. Next I run 3 Curry Bandit for the purpose of his Excavate 5 to add a spell trap to hand, so I'm using that to search out my Cyberdark Impact, or at least trying to. And it also serves a secondary function of being a level 3, which works well with this next monster, 1 Tour Guide of the Underworld. When I realized that Curry Bandit's a level 3 Fiend, I realized that Tour Guide would give me the option of Dante, so I can do a mill to add additional mills options. But since Tour Guide's limited, I don't really see it too frequently, but it still makes for a nice option just to be there. Plus, I don't have any issues with monsters being in my grave, because the more monsters I have in my grave, the more powerful my Cyberdark Dragon becomes. Next I've got 1 Goblin Bug, just to quick rank 4 plays, set myself up with a Minerva and go for it there, and searchable off Rota. So I got 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. Since it's a mill deck, he just gives me an insurance policy if I can mill him and send him to my graveyard. 1 Trick Clown. Again, since it's a mill deck, so if I send him to grave, res him, and then I've set up for a rank 4 later on. And next up I am playing 2 Link Slayer, one of the new monsters from the starter deck. Link Slayer has the Cyber Dragon effect that if you control no monsters, you can special summon it from your hand. And once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards, target the same number of spell and traps, and then destroy them. So if you open Link Slayer going second, he's just a brilliant way to bait out your opponent's back row. Because people are going to learn Link Slayer's effects pretty quickly. So if you drop him straight off while your opponent's got back row, you're basically baiting that back row. Because since Link Slayer can pop back row, if they don't use it, they're like, oh no, Link Slayer's going to get rid of my back row, I'm going to have to use that on him so I can at least try and keep 1 of them. So yeah, he's really useful for that. And so I think it might just help with board presence for the upcoming format. That's it for the monsters in the deck. Let's move into the spells. I'm running 2 Cyberdark Impact to help get me into my dragon. I would like to play 3. I wanted to play 3 of this, but unfortunately, this card is so hard to find. So 2 is just working for me. Next, I've got 2 Charge of the Light Brigade. Search out my Lightsworns, set it up with the mills. So basically, just deck thinning purpose. Next up, 3 Solar Recharge. Again, mill purpose, draw power, and useful just to get rid of any of those dead wolves in your hand in case you draw one. Next up I'm playing 2 Twin Twisters, just as an additional option to pop back row, but also as a way to get rid of Wolf in my hand or Malefic Truth Dragon in case I draw it, because just really useful as well as getting rid of back row, also getting rid of cards that are in my hand that I want in my grave. I might cut this out because I am playing Link Slayer, who does a similar thing, which is just once per turn, but I'll just see how the format progresses and base off that. Next I'm running 3 Magical Stone Excavation. This is just the... I'm playing this just as an option of, if I happen to mill my Cyberdark Impact, this just gives me a chance to put it back in my hand. Playing 1 Soul Charge, just in case. Just since I mill so much, this can give me a good option to bring monsters back. Yeah. Then 1 Rotor. I've got 4 decent targets in this deck, so just a quick way of deck thinning. And that's it for the spells. And then I'm only playing 1 trap in this deck, and that's Phantom Knights of Brigandine. Since it's the only trap I play, I can activate it and then just immediately special summon it as a level 4, so just good for a quick Xyz play. Yeah. Then for the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Cyberdark Dragon, my main boss monster. So yeah, pretty much explain why it's a Cyberdark deck, so yeah, just playing him. And then sync with the option of Raiden being a tuner monster, I'm playing a couple of synchros. First one is Stardust Dragon. I just feel this is good. This should be a good one going into Links, I feel, since he can block a destruction effect by tributing himself off and then resing at the end phase. So under the new rules, which you might be able to see I've prepped for since I've got the new mat. So if you synchro summon Stardust Dragon, it will go to your extra monster zone. If you use his effect, you tribute himself off, it goes to the graveyard. Then at the end phase, you res Stardust Dragon, and it comes to your main monster zone, so that frees up your extra deck slot, which is quite useful. And then I've got 1 Cyframe Lord Omega, kind of the same reason of Stardust. He's a good synchro to go into, and again, since Omega can remove himself from the field, he comes back in the main monster zone, so that's really useful moving into Links. And then into the Xyz I'm running, I run 2 Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn, just as for the main purpose of its milling, to help get my Cyberdarks in grave, and Malefic Truth Dragon to set myself up. Then I'm playing 1 Bajinte Tsukiyomi, just as the option, just as another way to get rid of dead cards in my hand. Like, I know I've got lots of ways to discard, but this is just a nice bit of help, and nothing wrong with drawing cards. Next up, 1 Tornado Dragon, just as another way to pop back row. Plus it's in either player's turn, so that's pretty useful. Then 1 Dante, as I mentioned before, just to, you know, mills, so that's pretty good. 1 Abyss Dweller, just as a generic just as a staple, switch off the grave against certain matchups. Then 1 Castel, again just a staple, spin a random card that I feel like it. And then next up is my Utopia package. I'm running the original Utopia, Utopia Ray, and Utopia the Lightning. I've added in Utopia Ray in my extra deck because I had space, and since I want as many monsters in my graveyard as possible, it just gives me more options for that. Plus, with the additional material, it means I could use Utopia the Lightning's effect twice. And then the final monster in my extra deck, the recent addition, 2 Decode Talkers. This is probably just the most generic link that we've got so far, so playing it at 2, just to try and expand on my extra deck. I'll see, but I'm going to test around with it for a bit, and if possible I might drop this to 1, or I might cut some other stuff out, add another one, but for the moment I'm happy with it at 2, and also for the reason that Earth True King is still a thing, 2 is going to be useful for me. So yeah, that's it for my Cyberdark deck profile. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the deck. Tell me if there's anything you think I should be trying in this deck. And feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Thanks guys. Take care.